All right, and we are live. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vays. This is another travel day for me, heading back to the US to get ready for Unconfiscatable. Coming off of Satoshi Roundtable. Still hanging out with a couple of friends who you've seen on this YouTube channel. Maybe not want to join. Coming in. Hey, here comes Willy.
Time.
Hey, buddy.
You're a nice, dedicated podcaster. Good morning. About to fly out. All right.
I know. You wanna say a few words about the price? You wanna show a chart? What do you want to do here?
I can show that one on Twitter, I guess.
I can pull up your Twitter account from my end then. All right, so let's go to screen share.
See if I can put update on it.
There you go. You're gonna send me a link? How you want to do this?
Just go to my Twitter. If you can
All right, let's go to screen share.
I'll send you a PM
Boom.
for the latest.
Boom. Hey guys, if you want to support the channel, check out tonevays.com/affiliates. All right, Willy's, let me find it here. All right. Woo, there you are. Which one? This one?
That one.
This one? All right, let's go take a look. All right, head over to Willy's Twitter feed, and we're gonna pull up a chart, and he's gonna tell us what this is. All right, go for it. This is the minor difficulty rhythm?
No,
Ribbon?
no. This is well, as the title says, it's on-chain investor activity.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that one.
It's kind of purposely vague because this is a proprietary indicator that we use within the fund, and it's really what it's looking at is it's looking on-chain to see really what the longer-term investors are doing. You can also kind of think of it as an upside-down MBT when those lines are high. It's the opposite of the MBT. So when it's high, it's very bullish. There's a lot of underlying investor activity. And there's many different sort of time frames on it. So the shorter term lines are showing what's happening in short terms. And often you can see, you point to that one?
Yeah,
Okay.
my computer is a little messed up. Like if I don't touch anything, the mouse is just moving. But it's not the mouse. It's because my keypad's not working.
Okay.
My touchpad's not working.
Overheated last time in Boracay.
Yeah.
So like even the short time frames is actually, I really like it because on the short time frames you can see that it's quite responsive. Like if it's dipping there, it's leading a dip in the price, and then if it pulls back up, it tends to counter trend the what's happening in price. And this is kind of the indicator I use as my go-to. And like if I was to turn off the longer time frame ones, you can see in the medium term time frame we kind of flipped bullish here, and that was where I started to think that this market would turn around around this region. I think it was December. And I did say that it's likely that the price would reverse, weeks later, which it did. Actually, that was when we longed really hard in this zone. But the interesting thing to note right now is that these shorter time frame lines are really ripping. They're ripping really hard. I haven't seen this kind of impulse in a long time. I'm talking years. So you can see there's a full bullish ribbon rip there. And
wait, did we even give you a microphone? I think they can hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they all.
It's pretty quiet in here. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure they all.
I'm going to show you today's thing on it. By the way, this is an oscillator, so the short time frame lines you can use to do divergences with. So.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, they didn't hear you very well.
Oh, okay.
It's our bad. Still early in the morning.
It's cool,
yeah,
guys. It was all proprietary information anyway.
Did not get much sleep at the round table.
All right. So quick summary was that like if you were to take, these are just different time frames of the same indicator looking on chain for what's happening with long-term
investors. Because often, like, this is how I view the markets: is the short-term ripples within the price.
It's fine from here.
The short-term ripples within the price are really dictated by trader activities, what's happening in the futures exchange, and often these long-term lines of what's happening with investor activity determine the sort of fundamental tops and bottoms that you'll get. It's very hard for a short-term trader to push the price much further out from where the long-term investors are buying and holding. And so I was just saying that around here, this is where we saw the medium longish term lines flip bullish, coming down, flipping bullish. Bullish is obviously when we go upwards, bearish downwards. And I said here that we're looking like a trend reversal here, and that the price would follow that in a few weeks, which it did. And we were very much longing hard in this zone breaking up here. And what's interesting right now is that these short-term lines are really, you know, pumping really hard. It's the strongest bullish impulse I've seen in quite a long time, looking back years. And I'll just show you the latest one.
Okay, shoot it over.
Just make sure I can do that. And let me get on tone. You are pasting it through. Okay, it should be coming through now.
Got it.
Okay.
All right, here's the latest view of it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, look at that.
It's ripping up crazy.
So are these a little more predictive? So you're still expecting the price to go higher because of this?
They lead price. Generally, they lead price. And so everything's pretty bullish.
But they could also lead price a little bit on a delay, right? Like here's a big rip higher in going into October, but that didn't really lead to much price up move. It went down one more time, but the next one did a really good job.
Yeah. So I kind of think of it as impulses of directionality. So if you were to think around,
this is different though, because you have these lines going down and here everything is trending up. So this is a much better indication by being with the trend.
It's with the trend with that, yes. And also that, remember, or saying the same thing really, around here was when Plus Tokens was dumping, I think 7 Bitcoins per 10
someone
minutes.
tested me this morning about like 12,000 Bitcoin from the Plus Token scam being moved. Did you see that?
In the last week?
In the last like 24 to 48 hours, actually.
Okay. That's good, because we want to get that over with.
Right, but I don't remember who sent it to me.
Plus Token, I think in our conversations with Ergo BTC, it was what, 200,000 coins that have been, that needed to be dumped at this point. And when we got down, I think around to this phase, it really slowed down dumping. And then we were down to the last, I can't remember the figures offhand, but I think he found more coins actually. So the figures are around 50,000 left to dump. And there's the dumpage around here into this zone here was around 3 Bitcoins, I believe. I think it was 3 Bitcoins.
3 per day?
Oh, God, Jesus, don't go off this. It's like, memory's rough. But it was like double. I think it was 7 to 3.5. And then I calculated around this zone in this bull run up, they were dumping around 2 to 2.5 Bitcoins per 10-minute block.
Oh, wow, per block. Okay.
And that's, and that was being absorbed by the market. And they tend to like dumping at prices above 8,000. When it got down into this zone here, it really slowed down. But in this zone here, there was a lot of dumpage, and an impulse like that kind of steadied the tide, and so went horizontal instead of downwards. But I'm saying that like this breakout to 10K, this bit here is for real, and it's just a matter of time before we break it.
So you are seeing one more nice pump into the halving.
Yeah, I'm seeing from this a very strong fundamental trend of buying. And yes, we're going into halving. So obviously I'm seeing, I don't even think it's like a pump. I think this is like a very solid bull trend going into the halving. And I see no reason why we should all be expecting it to dump at the halving. I'm not saying it won't, but we saw that in the last cycle that it dumped. But the cycle before that, it went sideways and carried on up.
Yeah, we were pretty much flat going into the early 2013 halving.
2012, yeah. 2012.
I think it was like very early 2013, one of those. I think it was like January or something. And after that, it just took off.
Pull it up there, yeah. So that was, it's late 2012.
No, you're in
right
2013. There. Okay,
right there.
right there. Okay,
Yeah. So it just went sideways. That's on my live chart.
All right. That's Willy's take. Anything else you want to add? You guys have any questions?
Yeah, it just goes back to that. Like, I'm finding more similarities in this cycle and from I've said it before, the 2012, 2013 cycle than the last cycle we had. And it wouldn't surprise me if it went sideways at the halving and then carried on up. So I think this is a very fundamentally bullish move driven by real investors. And that's about it. I haven't been watching the short-term price action much because I've been at the roundtable with everybody. So yeah, with that, I'll head on down and catch up with my sleep.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea.
See you guys.
All right, we got Willy's take. We are here with another trader. Maybe he'll want to jump on as well. We'll get his take. Otherwise, I'll give you my view of the markets with sequential and see what's going on. All right, let's go look at the charts. Haven't looked at those in a little while. Once again, guys, hey, don't forget. I should probably throw Willy's name in the video description so people know. If you want to support, check out the affiliate page. Also, my blog post on how I'm still trying to eat. Very difficult to do when you're at, all-inclusive resorts like at the round table and there's infinite amount of food around you at all times. But people asked, so here you go, the blog post. Lots of other stuff here, not really doing workshops anymore. But if you go to products and services to workshops, there are workshops at Unconfiscatable by Giacomo Zucco and Socrates and Alex Mascoli about how to set up a hedge fund. So this one is free, by the way, so check that out. And of course, my workshop there as well. Here's Unconfiscatable. Please support and come out to the event. The Financial Summit is back, Dominican Republic in April and Bali in November. And of course, Understanding Bitcoin tickets will go on sale immediately following Unconfiscatable, and that's in Malta in May. All right, let's go take a look at the charts. We're pulling back a little bit on the weekly, but we are staying above a very critical area of resistance. Staying above this critical area of resistance makes Bitcoin bullish, okay? The sequential is also still bullish on a weekly 6 of 9. So we are looking at 3 additional weeks of upside. Today is only Tuesday, so we have plenty of time to go still this week. So we do remain bullish from a weekly perspective. You also see these plus signs on the sequential, indicating that we are still waiting to complete the sequential 13 from a 9 that took place way back here in April. Now there was yet another 9 that took place after, but based on the new sequential code, which I am yet to release to the general public because I haven't had time to remember how to release updated code, something on my to-do list when I get a week of no travel. So hopefully sometime this year, and we'll release this new code. This did not kick off a new sequential 13 based on new rules. So we will, anyway, I'll explain all that when I release the code. So we're still waiting for a sequential 13. It's being deferred, and that should come with a close around the $11,000 range. So one more thousand away from that. All right, let's look at the daily chart. The daily chart still has a shot of getting you on top on the 9 in Japan. All right, let me just finish up the daily. We're gonna welcome David Puell to the show. He's been on the show before. And we are on a 7 of 9 daily. It's gonna be a little tricky getting to that 9 because you need to trade above the prior swing high pretty much. So we need to get above, well, round to 10,200. And that's what you would need in order to print that 9 for a potential pullback. But the pullback has already started. So if we get a 9 in consolidation above 10,000, that is not going to be the type of 9 that I would be expecting to pull down the market. That would be the type of 9 that I would be expecting to just hold consolidation for a minute, and then we go higher. The 200-day moving average has flattened out and is starting to rise. This is a bullish situation on most levels. Now, all the moving averages need to be crossing each other and rising for this to be a full bull market. I want to, you know what, let's talk some more Bitcoin, and then I will go ahead and take a look at the traditional markets. David, how you want to do this? You want me to send you a link? You want to jump on the cast? You want to do your own screen share? You want to just send me charts and I pull them up?
I'll send you the charts.
All right, cool. So DM me the charts and I'll pull them up. Let me cut, you want to slide over here a little bit and I'll give you the microphone. There he is. Welcome, David Puell. You've been on this show a couple of times before. We did a few of these from Azerbaijan. That was following our little vacation following the Honey Badger conference. You were also on that famous show with Tyler Jenks back in April, May of last year, where you guys had turned bullish, which turned out to be a great move. And
that was back in December, right?
No, that was also the original one was back in April, and then we did a show back in December, and then we did our latest one back in September. So you've been on this show a few times. Of course, you are an analyst for Adaptive Capital.
Yep. Yeah, it's Willy, couple of analysts, CL and Nick Jaremchuk, and of course Murad, CIO.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Murad in a while. He's busy trading, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's what happens when you are in charge of a
all of us have
fund.
been.
Yeah, you guys haven't been as it's the life I'm not ready for. Being sitting in a basement charting, but I am planning on going back to trading, but just my own money, not other people's money. You guys are insane, in my opinion. I can't trade other people's money. I'm just not. It's not something I want to. It's not something I want to deal with. I deal with more than enough people in an optional capacity. I don't want to do it in a mandatory capacity. All right, shoot over a couple of charts. Go back to screen share, and
let's start with something very simple that I think most people in your audience will get right away.
Are you gonna DM those to me? How you want to do it? Yep.
Okay, so this is pretty much the pattern, just using TA we've been following, just classic SMR.
Wait, it's not up yet.
Support and resistance.
Not yet. All right, boom, here we go, your first chart.
Right, everyone was calling for the wedge. I know you don't like wedges.
I don't like wedges, but this is an upwards wedge,
which is bearish.
Which is bearish.
But in Bitcoin, it tends to break up in bull markets. So we've been following like the whole pattern and also the deviation above it.
This is a 4-hour time scale, right?
Yeah.
Right, 4-hour time scale, but it gives you like the whole year perspective, and that is the RSI. The RSI has been rising. That's bullish. Looks like the volume has been picking up. That's generally bullish.
Right.
And the wedge did break out to the upside, went back in, never touched the bottom side.
Like a deviation above it and then return into it. And now it seems like it's given it another go.
All right, so this is a short-term chart. So this means you are still short-term bullish here.
Yeah, well, what we've seen like you can see it pretty much, it's like a general pattern, a classical SNR flip, what used to be
Yep, it used to be
now support,
resistance becomes support.
as classic as they come, even in the pump last night. And also the RSI, the way I would use it is, though I use the trend line because you could see it's pretty much following and bouncing out of the trend line pretty consistently. I thought one possibility before yesterday was that it's going to finally cross the trend line and collapse, right? Have like a larger correction on a macro scale, maybe daily scale. Didn't happen, bounced again. The thing about this is that as it keeps pumping, right, it keeps making like bearish divergences all the way through from the highs, right? So higher highs on the price and lower highs on the oscillator. That's eventually going to produce a correction. Is my mic okay?
No, you're fine.
So breaking this RSI line, for me, it's a good mechanism to you could say, foresee a greater correction on a maybe daily scale. Maybe not weekly, because I think on a weekly scale, the corrections are going to look like just little candles, not as noticeable, right? Yeah, we've been very bullish from the bottom for several reasons. The main one is because, let me send you a chart.
Yep, show a little more.
On that. Actually, this is an internal indicator that I cannot show you, but I can tell you that China has been buying consistently from the bottom, right? Which has been a major sign of, well, what has happened, I mentioned this before in your show, like back in September, I think it was December, late December. So one of the main mechanisms that pretty much any analyst uses right now is funding rates, right?
Yep.
I talked about it earlier.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up my end here.
Yeah, you have it,
so
right?
I have two different versions. We have the one with the funding rate and the difference between the future and the spot.
Which, yeah, like the
that's the yellow part.
The premium.
So that's still pretty damn high. So this, you gotta look at the blue. The last time we were this high was back in August, and we had a severe correction back here.
Right, but
and
the tricky part,
I'm not sure what that blue is.
This is just funding.
Yeah, this is just the funding rate.
This is one of the main indicators that that are public in trading view. You can.
You guys have your own as well, private one.
Yeah, and we have derivatives of that as well. But
so this is a bearish sign. So how are you guys reading that? All the others look positive. Look at the RSI. That's still pretty positive. Yeah. The MACD is very positive to me.
Right, it just broke out.
The CMF is very positive. Everything is positive. The only one that is favoring the bears is funding rate, but this could stay,
yeah, stay positive
this could stay positive for a while, but then it's gonna pull back with a vengeance.
But that's the thing, right? Like, you have to reassess your thresholds in terms of which is the primary trend, right? Like, any hint of a positive funding back from July to December was cause for correction, right? Like, any hint of that, you shorted, or at least sell. But now that the primary trend looks to be confirmed to the upside, the new thresholds, like, you don't know, because on average, back in 2017, if you go back into the chart, right? Like, let's say here, go back. I'm gonna get rid of the other ones, just for clarity.
Yeah, I can always put them back.
You have it saved, right?
No, but I'll put them back.
Oh,
and I know what my indicators are.
Oh, sorry.
Oh shit, that one I'm at. Hold on a second.
Both
Control Shift.
Sorry.
T. No, that goes there. Not
C.
what I meant to do. Crap. That one I would like to have back. There's a back button or something.
Control C.
There it is. Okay. No, because this one I don't know how to find it again.
Okay.
But you can double click on it and it'll go like that.
Right. So you can see the thresholds for it. I mean, this would be Q1 and Q2 last year, 2019. It was pretty much free money in that sense. Funding rates give you an indication of two things. The first one would be or a mixture of both, right? Sometimes it leads to one or the other. The first one is, okay, so you're analyzing a relationship between spot price and the derivative.
Mm-hmm.
So if funding rates are extremely high, you could say that a lot of people are selling because spot price stands at a considerable discount compared to the perpetual price. So that's one indication. And it also, in this case, showed a lot of the selling coming from China and just spot in general. At the top, you could see it on Binance a lot, and then Huobi, all the Chinese exchanges. And then when the other thing that funding rates give you as a signal is that people, traders, especially on BitMEX in this case, because this indicator is just for BitMEX people, they are overexposed to either the long side or the short side. So it's a prime territory for short squeezes or long squeezes, especially when open value or open interest is high enough, right? So the threshold for open interest has been 1 billion, but that always changes because if the price rises, the threshold for open interest are going to rise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Recommendation is choose open value, which is pretty much the quantity of Bitcoin behind the open interest contracts, and it gives you a more, you know, how do you call it? Gives you a better threshold, right? How you can backtest and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, this has been like one of the longest stretches of positive BitMEX funding rate we've had.
Yeah, since
in a long
downtrend,
time,
right?
Long time.
And it hasn't been as simple to trade because on Q1 and Q2, as you can see here,
Mm-hmm.
it was completely negative, right?
Yeah.
So it, like in some chats, like people were joking, like you can use that as a dynamic stop loss. Whenever it goes positive, like just start taking profits, and that's it. Like just, it's free money, right? But it hasn't been that simple now. We started an uptrend with, well, when it started like pumping more severely from about 7 and up.
Right around here, we broke this resistance
Exactly.
area.
We started like noticing consistently funding rates, and if you would have shorted or just sold, you would have lost a lot of, or gotten wrecked or lost a lot of profits, right? So yeah, you have to reinterpret that. And we've looked at other indicators developed for the fund, mostly by Nick and Cheng, that have tracked another very important factor that you have to be aware of, which are, you know, the China premium with the West. As of now, if China keeps buying, it's bullish, and vice versa. But that may change, right? Because a lot of those dynamics came from the Plus token event. China grabbing a lot of the liquidity, so that allowed them to become, you know, major. Oh, that's a 9.
I know. Wow, I just saw that. We just broke setup trend by a little bit, got to a 9, and huge pump in the last 4 hours. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, interesting. And so yeah, tracking what China is doing, at least as compared to the West, to Coinbase and Western exchanges, Bitstamp, has been very important and has given like a lot of clues on what's the next move. As of now,
yeah, I'm pretty bullish right now.
Yeah, like everything is over. Like a lot of stuff was overbought especially on a 4-hour, 1-hour time frames. Not that much on the daily. Like daily RSI and stuff produce bearish divergence, but I think we just broken out of that one.
Let's look at the hourly chart. How about the hourly chart in Ages? Wow, we really just broke out in the last hour.
Yeah, we just pumped.
Still sleeping right before leading up to this podcast here.
Okay, let me show you the.
Is the sequential gonna load? What's going on? Oh yeah, it gave us a 9 right before the pump, so that would have been a stop loss for me if I was trading. But the 4-hour chart was ready for the rebound off the 9, so those were definitely not in line together. All right, you got another chart for me?
Mhm.
You want to take a look at another one of David's
I'm gonna try
charts?
to get you something outside of TradingView, just for variety's sake.
All right.
Okay.
Shoot it over. I'm really curious how the stock market's doing. Oh, wow. Look at that. Stock market.
Oh,
New all-time high. And not even close. Like
that's what daily chart.
daily. Yeah, here's the weekly.
Mm.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's complete uptrend.
Yeah.
Big trend. No more
Yep.
choppiness for the stock market.
Weekly is just getting started. Look at, because we price flipped and now it's a brand new 2 above a green, 1 above the all-time high. I mean, the stock market can go to 4,000 easy. Been a huge bull in the market on forever.
Yeah, you've been.
Watch, by the time I start trading, it's gonna be such a difficult environment. I'm not trading this year, so but like next year I'm gonna start trading, and mostly the S&P 500, and it's not gonna be easy next year. I promise you that.
Right.
It's easy. It's been easy the last couple of years. Just buy and hold or swing trade this.
And you've been on point about that, despite the perma beariness.
Yeah.
About
Of the stocks?
no, a bunch of people.
Oh yeah. I mean, the stock market's been like people just don't understand what Trump does. Like they just don't. They just Trump's been one of the best things for the economy in forever.
Oh damn! 1 second. I'm just.
All right, Dave's gonna give me one more chart in a second. Let's see what gold's doing. Gold should be starting to pull back a little bit, but still hanging in there. I wouldn't be in gold right now. It's in the middle of nowhere. Oh yeah, there it is, pulling back a little bit.
Yeah, no, it doesn't keep pumping.
You know what? I'm curious how platinum's been doing. So I know you guys are busy trading, so you guys don't watch my videos much anymore. But here, so platinum's been interesting, David. What's wrong with the internet? That's sorry.
Yeah, I keep hearing about some precious.
Oh wait, not platinum. My bad. Palladium is what. It's still fucking early. So here, palladium. We had. So here's a daily 9. Check this out. I like this one. There's a daily 9 on palladium, right? Marking the top. Let's go to the weekly chart on palladium.
No,
There's the 9 on the weekly marking the top. And if I go to the monthly, there's a 9 on a monthly
Nice.
palladium marking the top. So this is the kind of trade you wait for all year. And you just, this 9 tells you what to do. And now it's consolidating here. It can still go higher, but either way, the money has been made. I still think it's going to pull back some more. I think that monthly 9 is going to
looks like a double top, like a
rear
secondary
its
high.
ugly head. Yeah.
Okay, just send you something.
All right.
This
Yep,
is another
I got
tool. It's called ExoCharts, which I.
Yeah, I'm not
quite like.
familiar with this, so I
Yeah,
have no idea what this is actually.
So pretty much it lets you track several stuff, right? The thing is you have to play around it and see what works for you. But what you're seeing there, for instance, I'm just gonna use your
Yeah,
mouse.
go for it. Use the control button as a point to
perfect.
create that circle.
Right. Okay, so we have many quote unquote indicators, but most precisely, this is a tool that lets you analyze a lot of bid and ask dynamics, and most importantly, the delta between them, right? So you can see at any given candle or time frame. In this case, we're using a 4-hour, but you can go back to the 5 minutes and even smaller than that, and it gives you a sense of what's the delta of the market in terms of order books. So, for instance, we have here the transaction size. This is a delta, right? So the more red the time period, the more sales were executed during that period, and vice versa on the blues, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and also you can see here, this is the size of the orders, of the market orders that were entered during that period. So we go from small fish that trade with 20K to $1 million orders for the most part, right? So At the top, you could see there was a lot of heavy selling coming from what you can call the smart money, or at least
What's your time frame here?
this is 4 hour.
4 hour. Okay.
But you can go
Yeah.
zoom in into smaller time frames. And right before the pump, a lot of mid to heavy buyers
Buy orders
came in just at this candle right before it pumped. And now with the pump, it's a lot of heavy buying from from 1 million and plus orders consistently in the market. So in a way you can track, first of all, is, so if the colors, you could say, appear here, down here, let me use your control, like in this part right here, it means that it's mostly retail, small activity coming from more inconsequential buyers, right? Like people like that don't move the market, and you can assume that people like that maybe aren't as smart money as you'd like. And then, but the activity, if it's consistent across the board on the top side, which is the 400K to $1 million activity, you could assume that it's more robust professional traders directing direction, right? The thing about this is you notice that a lot of retail activity has lowered down, like activity across the board from whales and retail was very muted at the bottom, which happens in Bitcoin quite constantly. And it's, of course, right, it's the bottoms are apathetic, people don't care about it, blah, blah, blah. Now that we pumped, there's a lot of whale activity, as you could say, like it's mostly, the deltas are that determined mostly by big players, right? 1 million players across the board. And you saw it, you just mentioned that volumes across the board are picking up, turnover in exchanges is picking up, so it's all natural after a bottom in a bull market. So this lets you analyze precisely that. Who is the main actor in the market, or are both actors, like small and large, acting in the market, or and also it lets you assess who has the largest activity, right? Sellers or buyers, or neutral. And here you have a CVD, which is, you can analyze it similar to the RSI in terms of breakouts, bullish and bearish divergences, and all that. And this is an average over the white line is an average from the bars you see behind it, and it pretty much gives you the cumulative buying or selling power coming from the market, right? So this is BitMEX, by the way. ExoCharts lets you analyze only BitMEX, and you can actually get bullish and bearish divergences. You just had a breakout. Now we're forming, I don't know if you can see it, from here to here. This is a 4-hour time frame, right? A hidden bearish divergence, but most of them are not as reliable. And the pump is backed by a lot of buying power, as opposed to this pump, which was quite weak. And then it formed a bearish divergence between here, this high, and this high. The oscillator went flat, indicating not much buyer activity, while the price made a higher high, right? From here to here, bearish divergence, and then corrected a little bit, and got new demand from the 97. What was it? 97 to 90, 7.5 to 8.5 area, and then.
So let me ask you this question. So this right here is showing that all the buying basically took place in below 10,000. Right. Now that we're swinging between 10,000 and 10.1, not much volume coming in. How likely is it to get one of these wicks, like what happened right here on this down candle, where all the volume was taking place above, little volume below, and we had this, I mean, the trend continued, but the candle itself was a reversal candle.
Well, let me give you an update on that just now.
We're looking better now?
Yep. Let me just print it out. 1 second.
Right. Shoot that over.
That was a good question. Well, it gives like a good,
Some context.
yeah. And now we
And
have-
why you have to keep watching these things in real time.
Yeah, and yeah, they change all the time.
All right, here it comes. Oh, a lot better right here.
Yep. And we're wicking now.
Oh, wow. So we just made a new high.
Yeah, we made a new high.
Oh,
Pump
I did not
texture.
even see that. Yeah, boom, there it is.
And
Oh,
a lot of new sellers coming in from that.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So as you can see in the first chart,
We just went to a new high, guys. So the daily still looks bullish to me. This is a bullish pattern, consolidation at the top. We had 1 day pullback. We have now made a new high. We still have, half a day to go. If we can close in the vicinity of the tops of these candles, definitely looking at higher prices over the next 2 days.
yeah, looks bullish. Locally and
Yeah,
on
I'm with you on that one.
daily, weekly scale.
All right, anything else?
Nope. No,
You're
so
good? Yeah, I think it's time. We've got about a few more minutes, and it'll be time to get to the airport. Still, I mean, Willy will be coming to Unconfiscatable. Still trying to get David to see if he can make it, but we'll find out. So, guys, please check out Unconfiscatable in Las Vegas. Less than 2 weeks away now, and it's going to be great. I got a few more surprises for you coming up. Unfortunately, we are going to lose some people due to the coronavirus, which I'm keeping an eye on. Man, so this is the last time I updated. That's 31,500 infected. This is from the last time I updated. It's been a few days. So I'm curious what it is now. Total deaths, 638. Total infected, 31,500. But I think that number is going to be above 35 right now as I update. So as traders, as chartists, we have been discussing, look at that, 43. Over 1,000 deaths now. And these numbers are probably grossly underreported because China kept a lid on this thing for like months before it eventually they couldn't keep it secret anymore. And it looks like the projections are showing, and this was a long discussion yesterday, around April is going to be where this thing peaks.
April, May.
Yeah, so April, May is when this is going to peak. And after that, we should see a slight decline in new confirmed diagnosis, and the acceleration. I mean, the number of the death toll will keep rising, but the acceleration of the death toll should slow down as of April. But going into April, this thing could still get significantly worse based on how people are infecting other people and how late China was at doing quarantines in their most infected regions. Hong Kong, how bad is Hong Kong doing?
That's a cool site, by the way.
Yeah, 49 confirmed in Hong Kong, 1 death. That's not too bad. And Philippines, where we just were, 3 now confirmed with 1
like 33%
death.
death.
Yeah. Also, you still have to wait on the other 2, right? Because people tend to die a few weeks after reporting. And here we are in the US. And let's see what's going on in Las Vegas. That's where the conference is. So far, so good. A bunch of cases in LA where Willy and I came from earlier. Nope, just 1 case in LA.
Those are single cases.
Orange County, that's also kind of LA. Just individual cases, 1 in San Diego as well. So yeah, still keeping an eye on that. But hey, Unconfiscatable goes on. We'll have a lot of fun in Vegas, and then join us in the Dominican Republic and Bali. David, we'll try to get him over there as well, and along with Willy Woo, and Understanding Bitcoin in Malta. Tickets will go on sale immediately following Unconfiscatable, the financial summit. Ticket sales are available now. Check out, oh, we actually have more testimonials. I was able to get one from Willy. So let me see if that loads up. But yeah, that's about it for this time, guys. I'll try to bring you another video tomorrow. And what are the testimonials? Boom, there it is, Willy Woo. Willy Woo's testimonial is up. We have Da Vinci up. But yeah, it was a really fun time in Bali, and DR is going to be just as good. All right, guys, always in memory of the late Tyler Jenks. If you want to say a few words about Tyler, David, you never got a chance to meet him, did you?
No, no. In fact, I just met Leah yesterday.
Yeah, for the first time, and he
Leah,
was very influential on your trading career.
Yeah, you could say Tyler and Leah gave me my first break in crypto. And if it wasn't for Leah, more specifically, I wouldn't have met Murad way back. So yeah, I'm very thankful to both of them. It was a shame I couldn't meet Tyler in person. So yeah, rest in peace.
All right, guys. On this note, we're gonna say goodbye. Tom Vays, David Puell, and Willy Woo. I'll throw their links in the video description, either right now or when I get to the airport and it's time to fly back to the US. I haven't been there probably all year. All right, guys. I will talk to you all on the next one, and good luck trading. We're definitely still pumping. Later.